Okay, get this. Did you know that waking up at night to use the bathroom is linked to a 32% higher risk of bone fractures? Welcome to Sleepopedia, a corner of the internet dedicated to the science of sleep and circadian rhythms. Yeah, we're kicking things off with that surprising fact because it is a huge deal. It really makes you wonder, why does this happen? And what in the world could a nighttime bathroom trip possibly tell us about our body's internal clock? Well, let's dive in and find out. You know, most of us just dismiss that nightly trip to the bathroom, the technical term is nocturia, as just, a normal, annoying part of getting older. But what if I told you it's actually a really critical signal from your body? It's like a little warning light that something's out of sync. To really understand why, we need to peek behind the curtain a little bit. We need to meet the hidden manager that's running your body's entire night shift operation. See, your body is actually designed for continuous, uninterrupted rest. And that's all thanks to this master scheduler inside you called the circadian rhythm. You can think of it as your internal 24-hour clock that coordinates everything to make sure you can sleep soundly all night long. So the main tool this night shift manager uses is a hormone called vasopressin. Think of it as the official night shift memo that gets sent out every single evening. This memo tells your kidneys to slow down production. Its levels naturally rise as you get ready for sleep, and its whole job is to suppress urine output. And it's an incredibly elegant system. As your internal clock signals, hey, it's bedtime, your vasopressin levels automatically start to climb. And that's the cue for your kidneys to switch into conservation mode, concentrating urine and reabsorbing water so you can just rest. You can really think of it as two totally different shifts. During the day, your kidneys are on the day shift, right? They're actively filtering and flushing waste. But at night, they switch to the night shift where the focus is all about reabsorbing water to keep you hydrated and, most importantly, keep you asleep. And this is the coolest part. It's not just a chemical process. It is literally written into your genetics. You have these things called clock genes inside your kidney cells. One is called BMAL1, and they make sure your kidneys are most responsive to that vasopressin memo at the exact right time, when you're asleep. It's a perfectly timed molecular dance. But what happens when that perfectly timed dance gets all thrown off? Well, that's what experts call circadian disruption. And that's exactly what turns that little bathroom trip from a nuisance into a chronic health hazard. And let me tell you, it is incredibly common, especially as we age. More than 60% of people over 60 experience it. And a lot of times it happens because their internal clock signals, including that really crucial nighttime peak of vasopressin, they start to fade over time. And the consequences, they go so far beyond just feeling tired the next day. The real problem isn't the trip to the bathroom itself. It is the chronic sleep fragmentation that it causes. Each and every time you wake up, your sleep cycle breaks. And that prevents you from getting that deep, restorative rest your body and your brain are just desperate for. And this fragmentation kicks off a really dangerous domino effect. It starts with about a 20% increased risk of falls. And that makes sense, right? It often happens in the dark, on the way to the bathroom when you're still groggy from sleep.
And this right here leads directly to that staggering 32% increased risk of fractures that we talked about at the start. It is a clear and dangerous chain of events that all begins with a disrupted body clock.
So the crucial point here is, this is not a minor issue. It basically acts as a chronic stressor on your body. Night after night after night, it keeps your system in a state of high alert, and that puts a serious strain on your heart and your whole cardiovascular system. And the impact doesn't stop there. This chronic circadian disruption is linked to a whole cascade of other serious health problems, from hypertension and cognitive decline to an increased risk for certain cancers and even mood disorders. But here is the good news, okay? You can take action. The first-line treatment isn't some pill. It's all about empowering your body to restore its own natural rhythm through some simple but really effective lifestyle changes. So it all starts with a simple pre-sleep routine. First, time your fluids. Stop drinking 3 to 4 hours before bed. Second, try elevating your legs for a while. This helps move any fluid that's kind of built up back into circulation so your kidneys can process it before you're trying to sleep. And finally, manage your diet by avoiding those big, high-salt or high-protein meals late in the evening. And here are the things to avoid. This is critical. Caffeine and alcohol are really well-known diuretics, which means they directly counteract what vasopressin is trying to do. They force your kidneys to make more urine, making those nighttime wake-up calls almost inevitable. So the core principle here is to just front-load your hydration. Drink plenty of water and fluids during the day, when your body's day shift is fully equipped to handle it. That way, you're not overwhelming your system when it's trying to switch over to the night shift. And finally, please remember the most powerful tool you have for resetting your clock is light. A consistent sleep-wake cycle, yep, even on the weekends, and making sure your bedroom is dark and screen-free will reinforce the powerful signals your brain needs to release all the right hormones at exactly the right time.